load your 3D data on a global perspective and see how it interacts with the environment in the world. Again, we also have ArcGIS Earth. So there are quite a number of the desktop applications that can perform various kind of tasks. It depends with what you need. And finally, there's also ArcGIS Pro, which still allows us to author this data that is very key for the water company and for various other purposes of decision making in the GIS system. Now, I'm going to start. I was tasked with creating data or authoring data for the Ministry of Water. And I have just received building footprints from the remote sensing department, as you can see. Now with ArcMap, I can add this other data, and you'll see how it seamlessly integrates. And I can use this data for decision making. So the very first thing you can do with ArcMap is something as simple as Symbology for better visualization. So Symbology, you can just change that to suit a color that you prefer, or a color that is suitable for your kind of visualization. Then you can add data. Now, it's easy to add data. You just click on the add button and you just add whatever kind of information you need, say mains or parcels or so on and so forth. And once you add your data, which I already added, you can add that information and you see how it seamlessly integrates. So this is data that we had previously worked on in collecting. This is the Kisumu Water Network, where we have various information from hydrants to system valves and water pumps. And almost immediately, just with visualization, we can already see which buildings are connected to meter services. We can already start to see which buildings are larger than others and which buildings may need connection and may not have connection. So the next thing that we can do with this ArcMap is perform a simple analysis, which is basically selection, so that we can see which buildings are connected and which ones are not. So I just click on my select button, and here I can choose the buildings to see which ones are actually intersecting with service connections, and apply that to see which ones are connected to water. And with simple Symbology, we can quickly and easily visualize already which buildings do not have water connection. And you can see the red buildings might have been newly established buildings that may not have water. So this kind of information, I can quickly share it with the Department of Water and Asset Management, where they can actually go and address this issue on the ground as quick as possible. But beyond just seeing which buildings are connected, I just received another request whereby they wanted also to find out which areas may require water pumps. So, for example, think about it this way. There are various areas that the elevation may be low and they may require water pumps in order for the water to reach high-rise buildings. But how do I do this? I immediately think about 3D. And what desktop application can I use for this 3D? I present to you ArcGIS Pro. Now with ArcGIS Pro, the beauty of it is that it's a 64-bit native application that allows us to perform various analysis both in 2D and 3D. The fact that it's 64-bit native application means what exactly? It means that it allows you to fully utilize the full capacity of your computer's processing power, and it allows for multitasking, which means that we can view our 2D data and 3D data all at once at the same time through various windows. And other than allowing you to have multiple windows, you can click on one, you can change information on the 2D and still have the same information reflected on 3D. So with ArcGIS Pro 1.3, you can perform the same kind of analysis that you do still on ArcMap, but beyond that, you can visualize it in 3D. You can click to see on a building to see further information. You can query this information, and this can allow the Department of Water and Asset Management to immediately pick up which areas have high-rise building and which areas have may need water pumps in case they need the water to reach the high buildings. So, but how do I share this information with the department and they don't have the desktop application? Now with ArcGIS Pro, it's very simple to share your data in a browser with no plugin required. So I easily and quickly just share this information, and by the click of a button, I can see this information on a browser. And on a browser, everyone who is in your organization or the public, or basically anyone who you need to have this information, can quickly see this on a browser. So for those, okay, you can see this on this side of the screen. We can see the information on a browser plugin with no software installation and no plugin, where you can move from one visual view to another depending on what you want to share it. Again, you can even have the base map. You can turn off the base map to see the water network underground. So this kind of information would be very crucial or important for them to understand how their network is laid out and for them to be able to make decisions. So this is the kind of information we shared, and with this they were able to make applications that responds to issues of water in Kisumu County. But I'm pretty sure most of you are wondering, how did we get all this great data, the water pipes and the meters, and how did we get to know which buildings are connected and which ones are not? This is where our field officers came in. This is where our field managers actually used ArcGIS applications to go collect this data from the field. And I'll just introduce the next presenter, our field manager, who will show you exactly how he uses field applications in ArcGIS to collect this data for field operations. Over to you, Anthony.
Thank you very much, Priya. My name is Anthony. And I'm going to show you how we collect data using applications that are available on the platform. In the morning, and those who were yesterday here, much of the platform applications have been mentioned. So today I'm going to use the Workforce for ArcGIS, which is an application that I use as a Kisumu County acting Kisumu County water field manager. Because what is happening is that we want to map all the public schools that don't have water. But I also want to make sure that other than mapping the schools that don't have water, I also want to map the school's compound, because we want to attach the school with the compound. So, but I have been having challenges because I, being the water field manager, so many institutions are approaching me to provide water connections or maybe borehole or even providing water using the tankers. So I was having challenge because most of the field workers, I have dedicated field workers who are using mobile applications to collect data, but I was not able to manage them. So I discovered that the ArcGIS platform has a very good tool or application called Workforce for ArcGIS, which is able to manage field workers. I'm able to assign them tasks. I'm able to create projects, and therefore I'm also able to monitor them. Now, other than this, the Workforce for ArcGIS come integrated with other 3 applications. These applications are the Navigator for ArcGIS. The Navigator for ArcGIS makes sure that the field worker go to the assigned site. So if I send them to Kodere, they will not go to Nyamasari. So other than that, the Workforce for ArcGIS is also integrated with the collector for ArcGIS, a tool that we use to collect the school compound. We shall be able to see that in a moment. It is also integrated with Survey 123, another very powerful tool or application for collecting school information. It is for a survey, not the land survey per se, but survey to collect statistical data, but which is geo-aware. So what is Workforce, or how does it look like? From here, you can see that I'm logged in. And the workforce, if you go to workforce.arcgis or the arcgis.com homepage and search for workforce, you will get this homepage. Now, it's from here that I create projects. You can see projects here, of which I have created a project here for the Ministry of Education, Kisumu County. Remember, I said that most of the institutions approach me as the water field manager. So, now when I create a project, so the projects page will load like this. Like you can see here, I have another project for electrical maintenance, which we're working together with Sophia. But for now, I want you to more or less pay attention to the Ministry of Education. This is how the project is created, and this is how it appears. Because of time, I'm not going to take you through the process, but it's pretty easy. So I'll open the project here to take us back where I was before, and show you now how I'm able to create assignments. I have created assignments for the mapping of the schools, compound, and the availability of water. So, but now the critical part of this is that I want to assign this work or this assignment to my field team, my field workers. I don't have to do that manually. I don't have to even interact with them physically. Because what we do here in the county government of Kisumu, we have a portal where everybody or every worker has access to the portal. And we have our field workers with groups. So this group I have two guys who are fully dedicated to work with these tools. But first, if you look here, I have assignments. We have been doing this for the last few months. So like I want you to pay attention to this. This is assigned. You can see it's grade. I have assigned some duty to this guy. Let us just see what I have done here. So this is assigned to George Wajara. So what will happen is, George, upon logging in using his mobile device, he will see that I have assigned him some assignment, and the details here, it is critical, so it's priority. So, and it's map and update school compound. On the device, he will have that. Now, then if you look here, this is already completed. This is a school, the water point in Kisumu. So we have been having, what I did when I was creating this project, I divided them into two. One guy is using the corrector for ArcGIS to correct the school compounds, and the other one is using the survey 123 to correct the school information, because we want to populate our database with the school information, school data, and the water information data. So for instance, this one, it takes me to where the project was for this one. And you can see that they mapped, this is the mapped using the corrector, and this data was corrected using the survey 123, and it was done by Victor Matura. So you can actually, after that, when I'm here in the office myself, I'm able to see that these guys, they have completed the work, and you can see the information related to that. Yeah, it was to map the school compound, and it is completed. So I'm able to monitor them. So we are going to see the applications, the different applications right now, because the field officers now are here. But before I let them come, let me show you how I do assign them the task. So it's very easy to use the workforce. From here, I just say assign. And because I had assignment types that I have already preloaded, I just come here and pick any. So depending with the capability of the field officer that I have, for instance, if it is Kisumu County School Information, map and update school parcels in Kisumu County, mapping water points in Kisumu County schools, because we have different projects and we have segregated them. So for instance, if I just pick this, then I want to assign, look at this. I am in the office, or I am even traveling. As long as I have internet, I can access my portal. I don't have to be physically in the office. So I have the list of my workers here. There's George, there's Laban here, there's Sophia here, and myself. So maybe I give this task to Sophia so that she can do it, let alone once she leaves this podium. So, so I say that's Sophia. Then I want this task to be completed on Friday, 4th, and I want to pick this maybe 9:30 in the morning, and then I give this assignment an ID, so that I am able to track her using this ID, and I want her to correct the school information. So just school information. Sorry. This is good because I don't even have to call Sophia to tell her what I want. I can write the description of everything that I want. So from there, what Workforce does, it allows you now, if you pay attention to create assignment here, it is great. So also for me as a manager, I don't just assign tasks without specifically locating. So Sophia will never say that, no, you did not tell me to go to Kibos or to Nyamasari. So I can specifically go now to the site, the location that I want her to work on. So that's the beauty of location, because everything is spatial aware or geo-aware. So I want Sophia to come and map a school, which I can even maybe think it's a school and it is not. So assuming that I want her to come and pick information related to this. So if I click on the site here, this one will be active, you see? So once it's active now, and I push it to create assignment, so that assignment is created and successfully created one assignment. So now what will happen is Sophia, once she logs in her device, she will get an alert message that you have been assigned this task to do this and this. And the beauty of the Workforce, the integration part of it, is that Sophia will only be able to work on that project using survey 1 to 3. Now, as opposed to if I gave her an assignment where she's supposed to use the corrector for ArcGIS. So the system is aware, the Workforce for ArcGIS is aware. So it sorts my problem by even segregating and assigning at a tool, the application that the field officer will use. Now, because of time, I have created these map and of this school, Kisumu County School Formation, and the Kisumu County. This is here, you can see there, and it is for Mutua. I want now to invite Mutua, and then later on George, then they show us how they receive the assignment of their devices and how they go about carrying out this task. So Mutua, please.
So the hard worker I am, field worker, very digital. When I log in, I'm able to see that I have received an assignment from my manager, Gakobo. And from the onset, I can see three things: the nature of the assignment, when it's due, and how critical it is. So I just click on the assignment, and I want him to know that I have seen it, so I must acknowledge. I'm waiting for him to receive the acknowledgement, and then I can proceed. So I can start the job because I've seen it's very critical. So from here, I'll be using survey 1, 2, 3. I have fat fingers. Yes, so from there you see you have 3 options. If I'm very far, I can be able to choose the option of navigating to where I have been assigned, and I can be able to get directions. So I will not get lost and say, I will not get lost and start blaming other people, but I will be taken direct to where my assignment is. So I'll start the assignment right away. And I start filling out the information. So what is the name of this school? Let's call it Acacia Primary School. So I fill out the information, Acacia. The school code is 500. The date is today. County, Kisumu definitely. My fat fingers again, apologies. Yes. Constituency, Kisumu Central. Ward, let's just say Kondala. Residents will correct me. So from here, I can be able to zoom into the map and see precisely where I'm at. So I also want to confirm whether there is water in this school. So there's a question that is asked whether they have water in the school. So I'll say yes. And from there I have a choice of seeing where they get their water from. So I'll say, yeah, it comes from the lake. So we'll assume most of it comes from there. And is the water safe for drinking? Yes. But it has to be treated first. So I have finished the assignment. So I just indicate here that I'm done. And now, if you're in the field and you don't have internet, you can send it later. But since we have free Wi-Fi, I might as well send it now. So immediately I send the information that I have collected. I just come back here and say, I have finished. And then Jacobo can get that notification and he will know that that job is done. It's no longer critical.
Thank you very much, Mutua, for that. So now I want to invite George so that he can also show us how he go about undertaking his task. George, please.
Yes, boss. I'm here. So, yes, sir.
So as George log out Mutua and log in, what happened is the survey 1, 2, 3 form that you saw, anybody can create those questions depending on what you want to do survey or what research you are undertaking. So for those who are here and you are researchers, whether for your undergraduate or for your PhD, we don't have to use the paperwork. That one will show you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. We'll be able to take you through that, how we create those questions. So you can create the questions based on what information you want to get. So after that, you publish that on your ArcGIS online account, or if you're working from portal like us, then from there, everybody is able to get and publish information from that. Okay, George.
Yes. So, some time back we used to Skype work, but since workforce came into place, things have really been tough, but good also, because I cannot Skype work anymore. So the first thing I'll do is that I'll acknowledge the assignment that I just got. Then I will start my assignment. Since I'm going to collect data in the field, and I already know where that place is, I won't have to use a navigator. But if I didn't know where the place was, I will have to use a navigator so that it can give me directions to exactly go to that particular place of interest. So I'll go straight to collect the assignment. Yes. So it has taken me where my boss felt there was interest, that that particular school doesn't have a water facility of any nature. So I think it might be a little bit long. Wrong. So I'll have to go where the school is. Yes. Just a second. So this is how I'm mapping the school. Just clicking on the particular area of interest. Then I have to put some attribute information about that particular school. So in this case, this school is called Kimunguini Primary School. Primary school, and it's done. And after that, it's given a code of 023. Then I'm done. Then I submit. So immediately I'm doing this, as he's sitting in the office, he can actually see I've done something. So I have to go back to workforce and finish my assignment so that at least my weekend can start a little bit earlier. And with that, I think I'm as free as a bird. And thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much, George. So, so now you have seen how the workforce is able to integrate three applications. So this is what we call the Geo-Trinity. It's not the Holy Trinity, but the Geo-Trinity. So now, if you look at this map, you can see that we have increased. Let me just refresh this. We have increased the number of the completed assignments. So if you're working actually in the field, so what was happening is, if you noticed, the GPS was more or less trying to take George back here. Because you see, it is correcting the location, as in the sense, the GPS location is as where you are. That's where you could see that it was, if you are keen to see that it was taking George back here. Now, if, for instance, you are in the field, then it will collect the actual information in the field. So, I think that is good. And you can see from here, let me see. Yeah, it's completed. Mutua completed his work there. And therefore, we are now able, I'm now able to get this map from here. But I'm sure you're asking, how do we get it from the workforce? This is workforce. Just before I end this presentation, the ArcGIS online account, or your portal, looks like this. What you can see here is my content. So this is where I create, and this is where I have folders. You can see I have a lot of folders here, how I work. But now, once I have this work done here, I'm able to see that here. I can see this information. You see, this is Acacia. Can you be able to see this? This is Acacia. Mutua created the Acacia information. It is created today on the 2nd. Kisumu Central. And Kisumu Central, Kodele, yes. The fish water from the lake. It is the water treated. So I'm able to see this. And I can be able to share now this information even with my colleagues who are working on other departments. I can now push this one to the governor and try to show him what we are doing and the coverage that we have covered based on water mapping or the school mapping. And with this, I think I don't want to tire you so much. The governor wants to maybe make a comment before we release you.
So I'll just click OK. Then from here now you are able to specify this is the table that contains my data. Then the location type I'm using coordinates since my data has X and Y. If you your data you have like address, or you can also use, so but basically in Kenya we normally use the X and Y coordinates to plot our data. So I just stick to X, the coordinates. Then here if you want to style your column, you can specify which field you want to use. In my case, I don't want to style my column. I only just want to map this point as a single symbol. So I will select as it's already the selected location, which is now I want to map a specific location for each location for each household that was actually sampled. So with that, I'll just click add, and then I will add the data. So ArcGIS platform, it actually helps us with smart mapping. The moment it loads the data, I'm able to see the clustering of my points. And from here, I'm able to see which point or which area. Maybe a lot of point samples were actually taken. I can see that around Kisumu town, this is where we have 271 household was actually sampled. If you go to Awasi, we sampled 35 household, and in this area, Katito, we have 130 points. So in summary, I'm able to see the clustering within my point data set. So from here, for better visualization, I can just click on this icon here to change the base map. So I will choose the National Geographic. So from here, so once if I want to do now the analysis, I need now to see each and every household that was actually mapped. So I will just click on the cluster and I will move the clustering. So from here now I'm able to see that all these are actually the household that were actually mapped. So from here you can see up here I have the analysis tab. I can choose to do a hotspot analysis or find what is nearby. So in this case, I want to find out if there's a pattern that exists within my point dataset. Like find out if there is an area that we have a lot of people sleeping and treated mosquito nets, as compared to other area where we have very few people actually sleeping under treated mosquito nets. So with that, I will just click on hotspot analysis tool. Then I need to find, I will use the attribute because in my data set, I had a field for the number of people sleeping under treated mosquito net for each county or for each household. So I will click, I'm basing my analysis based on the attribute values. Then I'll choose that specific field, which is this. This has the number of people sleeping under treated mosquito net in each county, in each household. Then I just click and then the analysis. So once the analysis is complete, so sometimes it takes a lot of time, but I had done that analysis previously, so I already have my results here. So you can see now that from here I'm able to tell which area we have a lot of people are sleeping under treated mosquito nets and which area actually we have very few people are sleeping under treated mosquito nets. So what I'll do, you can see that in areas where we have a red, this shows that a lot of people are actually sleeping under treated mosquito nets, and actually this is around Kisumu city. So it shows that it's either a lot of people here have actually received the treated mosquito nets, or they know the benefit of actually sleeping under treated mosquito nets. So around this place, there should be a hero. You find that very few people are actually sleeping under treated mosquito net. So it's upon us within the ministry to find out, is it that they have not received
treated mosquito nets, or is it that maybe they've put their treated mosquito nets to other use? So with this kind of analysis or the results, it means that as a ministry, we're able to make some more informed decisions on where now to focus more in terms of distributing our treated mosquito nets, and also educating the public on the benefits of us actually sleeping under treated mosquito nets. So this data was based on our household, and I find that I also need to share this data with other colleagues, my colleagues, and I also need to add another field that is missing from this data set, the average household size. I need to know what is the average household size for the household within Kisumu County. So the good thing is that with ArcGIS, we have some hosted feature services, and we can use that to actually enrich our data. So I will click on enrich data, and from the enriched data, I'm able to see these are the different data sets that are actually hosted within ArcGIS Online as hosted feature services. For me, I'm interested on data pertaining a household. So I'll just click a household. Then I'm interested in getting what is the average household size for each household in Kisumu County. So I check, this data is for 2015. This is very recent data. So I can actually use data to enrich, this data to enrich my layer. So I'll just click on next. And then here I need to use which column do I want to enrich. So basically I want to use, so for now I just want to enrich the word. So I want to see in each word what is the average household size. So I will add the data to the system. So this might take some time to load. So maybe I could use, let me see if I already have some. Okay. So let me just wait and let it finish. Okay, so here I get a message that it has successfully added the data to your system. So with that, I can just click maybe on some household here randomly, and just try to find what is the average size for that household. So I'm able to see that in this word, actually, we have the average household is 4.1. And for this particular household that I've actually selected, it shows that 4 people actually sleep under treated mosquito net. So it means that this is 100%. We have 100% of people in that household actually sleeping under treated mosquito net. So I can just randomly pick on another household. So the average household in this region is actually 4.5. This is the average household size. And I'm able to see that in this particular household, we have 3 people. We only have 3 people actually sleeping under treated mosquito nets. So once with that kind of information, we are able to use this kind of data to make some more informed decision within the ministry. And with this, I now even have something that I can actually present during maybe our meeting, ministerial meeting, and so forth. So with this, remember I said that ArcGIS platform is fully integrated with Microsoft Office. So I'm able to move this data from Excel, share it, perform analysis, and also share it even in as a PowerPoint slide. So I will just click on create a slide. And with that, I will be able to actually create a slide that I can use now to do a PowerPoint presentation and showcase the output. So from here you can see I already have my slide. So it's just a matter of now describing this kind of results and maybe the methodology that we actually took to do this kind of analysis. So with this, sharing data within the county and different, also with different stakeholders is very important. So with this kind of results, we normally hand it to our IT department, who helps us with creating a different application that helps us to communicate different type of information to different stakeholders. So I will now invite my colleague Ephraim, who is in IT department, to just take us through how they create different applications that helps us to even share our information or the different information within the county to our stakeholders. Welcome, Ephraim.
So thank you, Penina. As you've heard, my name is Ephraim. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make applications using ArcGIS, our ArcGIS platform. Well, our main focus will be ArcGIS Online. So I have this very nice map here from the GIS department. It's a map that shows the water distribution network of a small section of a small area within Kisumu City. It consists of it's quite rich in terms of information. It has information regarding hydrants, the system valves, water pumps. So it's a rich map. So we're going to see how easy it is to take this map and create very nice applications. And the beauty about it is that we won't write a single line of code. But before I do that, maybe I can just quickly show you some of the applications that I've already made. Then I'm going to show you how to make such an application. So one of those applications here is a water distribution inventory application. It's a web-based application. So this application can be embedded on your main website or consumed directly from your devices, whether it's your normal your smartphone, a tablet, or any device. It consumes, it uses the map that has already been that was shared with the GIS department. It contains the exact same information as the main map on the map viewer. So from this map, from this web application, we can query information from it. So we're going to see how we can create such an application that does the exact same thing I'm going to do right now. We can query information such as you can get all the system connections within this area. So I just select execute. And this application was made without writing any single line of code. I can take this information over here and print it to my connected printer. Then again, I have another application over here, still using this exact same map that we have on our map viewer. The beauty about working with ArcGIS Online maps is that you can use one map and that same map can be consumed in very many applications. So you can have one map being consumed by 10, 11, 20 applications. And so this is the exact same map that we had on the map viewer. So this particular application, what it does, it allows the users to collect the elevation profile of within a specific area around the city. So it's as easy as just clicking on an area of interest, and immediately it does that. You'll be able to it will generate the elevation profile. It will generate the elevation profile of that particular area. So you don't really have to go. To the field and start collecting elevation data, because what it does exactly that. And as you can see, as I scroll that, if you're keen enough, you'll notice there's another icon over here that's moving as I scroll around my elevation profile. And I can also get the elevation values as well as the approximate errors of that particular of the heighting function that I have over there. So you're going to see how I made this application without having to write code. So what do? We start from our main map, from our map view over here, and then share and create our application. So I'll just select create a web application. So there are quite a number of configurable applications that we have available. All the applications that can allow you to visualize 3D data, basic map viewers. So there are quite a number of applications that we have available. But in our case, what I want to do, we want to create an application that will allow us to add our own custom fields. So I'm going to launch a web app builder for that. So I'm going to call this application water distribution app. Sorry. It's important to have tags. Tags will make your application discoverable to the users, and then a summary for your application that you are creating, and then it's as easy as just clicking on Get Started. So we are going to create an application that will allow us to query various features within our map region. So it's launching our web app builder. It's a simple wizard that anybody within your organization can use. So from this first tab over here, you are able to decide on the theme that you want to use for your application. So there are quite a number of themes that are available. You have the billboard theme, boxed theme, all the way to tabbed theme. The beauty about this is that on your right, you're going to have, you immediately see how your application will appear to the end users, and it has what you see is what you get look and feel. So if I, for example, click on the billboard theme, it should appear immediately on my, or it should reflect immediately on the panel on my right. And then again, you can also select on a map, if you so wish to change the map that you have already, that's already existing there, you can change that, choose a map again that you have either within your content or shared within your organization, or any map that you have access to, So I'm going to go back to the theme, and then again select a theme that will be suitable for this particular application. So I choose on the boxed theme. So it will reflect immediately on the right. Then again, I can play around with the color. You can choose the color that you want, or you can define a specific color. Probably you have a specific color code that you use within your organization. So you can type in the hexadecimal color values or the RGB color values, or again you can select colors from using this particular area over here. So I'm going to select a color that tends to blue, something that's almost bluish. And I'll select on that. So immediately I do that, it reflects there. And then again, I can change the placement of this particular tab over here by I'm selecting the tab and have it appear towards the top of my screen. Then again, I will now start adding custom widgets to my application. I've clicked on the widget tab over here, and I'll select the widget that I want to use. Basically, widgets will give life to your application. Just don't want an application that's only for visualization. You want your application to be used by the target user group, whether it's the general public or specific members within your organization. So I'm going to select on a widget that I want to use. Because we want the end users to be able to query various features within our water distribution network, we're going to use the query widget. So I'm going to select on the query widget and click on OK. Then the next that we need to do is add life to your query. We're going to give our query widget functionality. So I'm going to click create a new query. So we want the end users to be able to query all the service connections within their area of interest. So I'm going to select a service connection and click on OK. Then again, I'm going to give my widget a title, my query a title. So service connections, then filters. So we want the user to define their area of interest. So we are going to select this. We are going to use the second option. Only return features that intersect with the shape drawn on the map. So the user is going to draw a rectangle on their area of interest. They can also draw triangles if you add that functionality, or any shape that you so wish. You can have freehand figures. So you're going to use the rectangle. The user is going to draw a rectangle around the area of interest. Then again, we can also configure how we want our results to be displayed. So once we are satisfied with that, we just click on OK. And then immediately I do that, the widget is added to this panel over here. So I've added that widget without having to write any line of code. I can preview my application, how it would display on various devices, ranging from iPhone 6 all the way to LG G2. You can also define your screen size. Maybe my device has a display of 1000 by 700. So immediately I type in those values, it displays, it shows me how the application would appear on my device. If I'm not so sure about the display, I can again scan on this QR code, and immediately it will launch on my device, and I'll be able to know and I'll be able to have a quick preview of how my application will appear. Then again, I need to, the final thing that I'm going to do before we launch this application, we're going to add our custom logo, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm going to change that, and we're going to add that logo on our device. I can also add a hyperlink to my website, or I can choose to leave it at that. Then just save. So we've already created our application. The next that we need to is just launch and have this application embedded on our website. You can share this link with your target user groups. So this application will have the exact same functionality as we had configured earlier on. As you can see, it has taken up the exact same shade of blue that we've added. It has the exact same widgets that we created. So I'm going to click on the query widget. And then again, I'm going to draw my polygon. So I'm going to click on that, and then draw my polygon. So it's going to show me all the service connections within my area of interest. So these are all the service connections within my area of interest. It has. Then again, I can also zoom to that particular area. I can have it flash all the areas. I can also get statistical information about all those connections. So as you've seen, it's very, very easy to make an application, and you're not only limited to these query widgets. There are very many widgets. We have about 37 of them right now. So we're going to see again another application shortly. How we can use this how we can engage the community to report cases of maintenance issues on the water distribution network, a burst pipe. We're going to see how it can be how you can use the existing application that we have to engage the community to report cases of network disruption on their area. So I'll invite Sophia to proceed.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So my name is Mary Akiambo. I'm Sophia. Acting Mary Akiambo. And I think, yes, it is a good afternoon, but not such a good afternoon for me, because I have a problem. I have no water. So just imagine I've had no water for the past 2 days, and now I can't even shower or wash my clothes. What am I going to do? The only thing I could do was chat with my really awesome pal called Sophia now, who's really informed, and just show her all my problems. Now I was moving around my hostel and I found a burst pipe. So I think that would be my problem. And when I shared this with her, she was like, there's a really cool app called Kisumu Water Services that I can check out, which will solve my issues. So I just opened this app and see whether there'll be a light at the end of the channel. Now here, I can either sign in with ArcGIS Online or Twitter or Facebook, but I don't want to give any of my credentials, so let me just proceed as a guest. So now, when I proceed as a guest, I can see that there's an application here for water request services. And I can be able to submit my problems to Kisumu Water and Sewerage Company. So let me just submit the problem that I am experiencing. There's a leak that I've just found out, and I have had no water for 2 days. I'm not even sure if I can shower before the cocktail, but hopefully, if they fix this problem, so yeah, hopefully they will answer to that. Let me report it today. Let me even show them that image of that water so that they don't think I'm lying. So I've attached that image, and this is my residence. So I'll just put that location. Now I can even view it from a larger scale, or I can view it from here. So once I've put in my information, let me report it, and just hope that someone up above has seen that report and will answer to my prayers. And I hope that someone is Laban Dumo.
And now as I descend from the heavens to answer her request. So me, Laban, PA to the governor, just sitting in my office. Yeah. And looking at the screen. Hey, Buana, I can see, I have a message here. Somebody just sent me a leak. Something is leaking in the office. I mean, not in the office, the county. So, and I can see, oh wow, there's been 6 requests. I knew of 5 just before I was going for the cocktail. I was invited by His Eminence, Acting Governor Everton. And I just want to leave the office, but hey, I can't leave this. I want to, Kisumu is digital. We answer our citizens' queries immediately. Digital county. So we look at, you can see there's a leak. I want to find out where it is. You can see there's a leak here. Somebody has not had water for 2 days. That's very un-Kisumu. So what we're going to do is we're going to get sure that we fix this really quickly. So I'll contact my foreman, Tony Nyadundo. And Tony, I'll call Tony. So Tony, somebody hasn't had water for 2 days. Are you going to get on it? And he's like, yes, for sure. So I will now morph into Tony so that we can see what Tony did. So, I'll make whatever sound you make when you're morphing into something. Now I'm Tony. So Tony I've just got the call from the boss. Hey, somebody hasn't had water for 2 days. And I'm like, really? Wow. Let me check on my dashboard. So I have a dashboard here. Remember, this is all powered by the same portal we've been looking at the whole time. And lo and behold, yes, somebody has not had water for 2 days. And you can see it over here. This person has not had water for 2 days. You can see there's a leak. Okay, there's a few other people who have problems, but this looks like a very important person. You can see where the building is. It's a very important road. And if the technical advisor wants it fixed, then I'm going to go ahead and fix it. So what I'll do is, I'll call any person who's working around the area and ask them to fix it. And probably that person will use Workforce for ArcGIS, something that we saw being used earlier in the previous session. And so when he goes about and does his repair, once he's done, and I can see on Workforce that his work has been finished, or he has fixed the leak, then I can now confirm on Workforce and come over here and do a particular fix. So just come over here and you can see she hasn't had water for 2 days. And what's the repair status? I can, when at the time of the call, I can actually place a repair status of in progress and save that. And now anyone else who looks at the dashboard will be able to see that the repair status is now in progress. And once the leak has been repaired, I can then come back and do an edit on the same thing. And now place it as incident closed. And with this, you can see my incident has disappeared. And that also means it's disappeared on the screen on the application that Mary, yes, I wasn't sure who's who. that Mary has been looking at. And that way we've been able to solve a problem really quick using a citizen-facing application, an application that a technical advisor is able to see. So for example, you saw that we had 6 requests. Now we have 5, we just fixed 1. And just like that, we've been able to see somebody making a request, the county being able to read the request from the citizen in almost real time and fixing it in around the same time. And now we are lucky, we have 1 less citizen without water, and we'll have a much fresher cocktail now that you'll have taken a shower. Yes, let's see if she's seen what, if she's seen if we've done anything. Let's hand it over back to Mary.
So as it loads, I just hope that they've answered my prayers. So hopefully the IT companies have seen this. Oh wow. I can see the incident I've just reported is now closed. Incident repairs closed. Now I can go have a shower and we can have an amazing cocktail. Thank you.
Thank you. Earlier, before we went for lunch, there was a 3-minute video that you were supposed to watch, which I will play as soon as that screen comes on. Okay, here we go.
Gas Authority is in existence for one purpose, and that is to provide natural gas to the upstate of South Carolina. We have over 40,000 residential customers. We have a large industrial base as well. One of the most positive occurrences at our company here has been the implementation of ArcGIS for lots of reasons. The ability to do more with the same staff that we have. The ability to capture data for regulatory reasons, the ability to more quickly respond to our customers' needs. And all of those things we've been able to accomplish as a result of the implementation of our ArcGIS system, the use of mapping.
It's become a valuable tool for all employees, not just management, myself, the GIS department in a whole. Every department at Fort Hill Natural Gas is using GIS mapping.
Having everybody looking at one platform has been a big help. When the leak surveyors go out and they mark a leak, well, our construction crews can pull that leak point up before they ever leave, and they can see what grade it is, pictures associated with it, just numerous other things. So it has improved our workflow in that aspect.
When there is an emergency, I can use it, I can click on some valves, and in just a minute, I can see what's going on. Besides the base knowledge that we all have, I can pull that up, and it helps fortify what I think I might know. But it gives me that visual.
We've got information at our fingertips now where we know where our valves are readily. We know where these service lines are. Collection in the field becomes a real-time edit to the maps, which is very powerful, because then if we need other staff to respond to any situation, the information's already there.
We've probably been on Esri's system now 3 or 4 years, And it's hard to look back. It really is.
It is exciting to see what we're able to accomplish and to present to our staff in the field. So we're very excited about the future, where we're headed with this.
Thank you. And with that, we are ready to take questions before we go for the much awaited, fresh scented cocktail.
Thank you. My name is Hitimana Jean-Pierre. I'm an engineer and a research in GIS. When he was presenting on water distribution network and how you can customize that online software, can you add the plot number and the owner name of the plot, so that when it's like we are making a query, you can see the owner number of that plot, so that if there is any problem, so that you can make a request and you will know exactly where is that person, or where you can go and make that maintenance, etc. Okay.
Okay, while somebody else gets the mic, yes, you can add plot number and owner name of the plot yeah, for example, the example that we're giving, that's very possible. That will just be part of the attribute fields of the feature class that contains that data. You could also, if you have your names in another, let's say, separate table, you could do a join and have it as a related table. So both of those ways you'll be able to do it.
Hello, Joel from UETCell. Since this is a customer-related system, why don't you make it in a way that it is the customer who closes the call?
Yes, that's very possible. This was just basically a demo. I guess that's something we didn't put into consideration, but yes, that's very doable.
The second question, it's about reporting. I saw for you to know that there is an emergency, a request from the community, you have to go first to the dashboard. And in the first presentation, before we went for coffee break, I saw there is a team in the office, another one in the field. So how do you communicate? Because when you are assigning a task to somebody who is in the field, how do you know? You need an alert. It can be an SMS alert, etc. How do you manage that?
Yes, again, for the purposes of time, we didn't show everything, but you can have SMS alerts as part of the system. It's not a big deal. It's just something you add. So, of course, the complexities of doing it in a room, we wanted to show the critical components, but yes, the alerts can also be via SMS or an automated call. Yeah. Same as the closing of the ticket, that's also possible. The customer can close the ticket to confirm that indeed it has been fixed, rather than the staff member. Yeah, and that she has taken a shower. Another question? See a hand on this side.
Hello guys, I'm Victor Kwak from Kenya University. I love the presentation you guys just did. I mean, it's just marvelous seeing this transition from left to right to center, going all the way back to the left. So my question is on the earlier presentation you made on the 3D buildings. I didn't see how you guys were making the 3D buildings for Kisumu. So that's my query. How do you come up with the 3D buildings?
Thank you. Okay, thank you for that question. 3D. We have a number of ArcGIS desktop applications that can be used to come up with the 3D data. They range from ArcScene to ArcGlobe to ArcGIS Pro and even City Engine. The technical details of how to come up with it is it's a long explanation or a detailed process, but I encourage you to attend the technical workshop on 3D GIS, where you'll see exactly how to go from your 2D data to extrude it to 3D building, and all the tools that are required for it. So yeah.
So the workshops are on page 5 and 4. And you can begin to see some of the workshops that you can attend. So we showed the short version of the 3D here, and then we'll show the long version in the workshop of how exactly we extruded the building. But that's, so starting tomorrow we'll have the workshops, and they're on page 4 and 5, so you can start thinking about what you would like to attend, and the workshops will be here. So this room will be split into 2. So there will be a room on the left through that door and a room on the right through that door. One will have the industry sessions, which are on the left side of the page, and the other one will have the technical sessions, which are on the right side of the page. More questions?
I'm making a comment on the actual question, I think, on the workflow for fixing water in the schools. And it looked like it was a top-bottom approach. And for me, I imagine it should have been the other way around, bottom-top approach. What do you say about that?
It can go either way. It can be bottom-up or top-down. We, again, like Laban said, some of these were just hypothetical choices. We chose to do it top-down. It can be bottom-up. There's no... Technology is agnostic. It's us, the people, who decide. Yeah? So you can call your wife or she can call you.
Thank you. My name is Martin Kretschmer from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development in Kampala. You showed us how the different apps can work together, which of course looks quite impressive. But I'm wondering, is it already used in one city in our region here in Eastern Africa, or is it until now more used in the US and other developed countries? Because it almost, it looks very nice, but I don't really see that it's already applied in our region.
Yes, we have several customers. I'm looking for Kimani. Okay, it's not here. One of the customers that's using Workforce is Kenya Roads Good. They're not here, but yeah. Another is Marie Stopes. They're using Collector. Yeah. So Collector and Navigators. It does work in our part of the world because it just basically uses a GPS. So it works.
I know that the technology works, it's just that the people are using it.
Oh, whether people are using it? Yes, there are people actually using it. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentations. They are quite insightful. I just want to pick up from what my colleague behind here mentioned earlier about the approaches, because normally if you're implementing systems that would have to do with information systems, there's need for ownership. But I'm a bit concerned about the policy level. If you are focusing on alignment with policy at national level, then I think you need to be also careful about the approach you use. Because sometimes top-bottom approaches tend not to be owned at the bottom. Yet bottom-up approaches tend to be appreciated in terms of policy alignment and national strategy. I don't know what you have to comment on that.
Yes, thank you for the question. Yes, we totally acknowledge that concern, and sometimes it depends on the organization, but also, yes, we have also seen the same in our when I say travels. Engagements. Thank you, Mary. So yes, anything that's owned by the workers is more likely to succeed. But one thing that Patrick said also is, it's the way you implement. This system can be implemented either way. So if you, actually the way we approach most of our organizations is that we meet with people who work on the ground, and we try and work with them to see if this is a solution they can work with. Then we try, talk to the higher ups, because if it's a solution that's bought by the people who are actually going to use it, then that gives it a chance of survival. And we really believe in our products. We use them ourselves. So yes, we try and work with the guys who are working with it, then push it up to the top.
My name is Kasolo Nixon from Royal Education Agency, Uganda. According to what has been presented about the mobile applications, most of our work is encompassed in rural areas, where I'm looking at terms of network coverage. And what I've seen, I might think it is online based, so that means I have to have network. So for my case, if I have someone based in a rural area where network is really 2G, I'm looking at edge or nothing at all, how relevant will it be to switching to mobile?
Okay, thank you very much. It's true that not everywhere that we have the data coverage, especially for the GSM data. But what happened is that, for instance, the connector for ArcGIS has the capability to use GPS. So we have the Bluetooth GPS, where instead of the device now connecting from the GPS location from the data, the GSM data, you configure it to pick from or rather to communicate using the GPS. So you'll have a small handheld GPS. It's only that we forgot to bring it here. Just a very small, tiny GPS which communicate with the collectors using the Bluetooth. That way, actually, you can get even some meter accuracy. And again, you remember when Victor was collecting data for the schools, there was that provision of send it now or send it later. So if, for instance, you're using survey 1 to 3, you can collect your data in the field, and if you don't have network coverage, then you save it like the outbox. The moment it can hold enough data for whatever size of the device you have, and then you just upload it. So it is much possible to use it in areas we don't have network coverage. Thank you.
I don't know if there's anyone here from Makueni County. Makueni, anyone? Okay, so we did this project in the county of Makueni, where there's scanty network when you go out into the field. So you collect data the whole day on a device, and then when you come back into town, Makueni town, get to the hotel, put it on a charger, and then upload the data, and all the data that we had collected throughout the day was there. So you can be able to collect data on your device offline and then post it back later. Let me also take questions from this side.
Thank you. My name is Orlando Washington from Emuhaya constituency. My question goes to Penina when she was actually presenting to us how Excel is working together with ArcMap. My question is, do we have those adapts or commands on Excel, or you have actually customized them?
Thank you very much. So we have a Microsoft Office plugin, which is actually free. So all you need to go is just to go to the Microsoft Office, Esri Maps for Office, and then on that website you will actually get that an add-in. So you just need to download it, then install it. The moment you install it and you open your Excel, you already have that tab for ArcGIS Maps. Thank you. It's actually for free.
Question.
I thank you for the presentation. I am Wanyoji from Kenya National Highways Authority. My question goes to the past governor, acting governor. He raised the presentation where he imported some image on ArcMap. And usually these images have some problems, they need to be rectified. Should I just get any form of image and use it, or I should be subjected to some form of corrections?
Thank you very much for that question. I was not the acting governor, but I was a GIS professional. So I think when you talk about imagery, I can tell from the way you ask your question, you have a wealth of knowledge in that field. And just like recently, my friend was telling me, if you are caught overspeeding on the road, the police has to show you when the device was last calibrated, the speed gun. So calibration is key here. And when you're using your image, you have to pre-process. Mine I'd already pre-processed before I started the demonstration. And if you're using commercially available images, it's much better because the providers, like for instance, the one I was using is courtesy of Airbus Defense and Space. We're glad to have them here. They'll be making a presentation maybe later, or they'll be available for questions. So that one has already been pre-calibrated in terms of terrain correction and atmospheric correction, and even auto rectification has been done for you. So if you buy it, some of these things have been done for you. But if you're using a freely available image, let's say Asta or Landsat, for Asta the pre-processing is even more intense than Landsat, for example. And for Sentinel is even much more intense. So pre-processing is key before you can get results that are acceptable or of good accuracy. So thank you.
Right, my name is Dr. Moses Kola from Aseno University. I would like to congratulate you for good presentations. But my major concern is also linked to what the President presented on his main desire that even the young people, both poor and all those, get the concept and use it. Do you have developed programs, curriculums for all levels of learning, say from high school to university, so that you can work with the institutions and then implement it, or people start grasping what GIS is all about from younger age?
I'm the training and services manager. So we realized that within our region, the biggest challenge is map literacy. And this is something that can be, that we can try to take care of from the point of where people are in primary school as they progress onwards. So as at now, the level at which we operate in terms of capacity building is from tertiary level, that's colleges and universities, as we go into trying to help people who are already in the workforce. But we still have plans to try and tap in to people who are in secondary school and primary school, especially with the laptop project that we have in Kenya that we are hoping to have implemented soon. We just try to see what we can also put in there. We have other partners who or other distributors of Esri who've been able to do this, where they came up with applications that could be used in primary school, in secondary school, and so on. So yes, we are trying to see how can Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania also benefit from this. But ideally, there exists content that can be used at that level, even though we just need to localize the content. Yes. And for universities, we have training that is geared for university students. At times we try to partner with institutions by supporting some of the lab work. Like if they agree, we send some of our interns or staff to just come and support here and there. We can definitely do that.
We also have a program, yes, I've seen your hand. We also have a program where we request professionals like yourselves to volunteer in schools, especially high schools, as geomentors. So you're a mentor to high school students, and you go and talk to them about geography and what GIS is, and that they can actually make a career out of it and things like this. So that's a third wheel to the tuk-tuk that we are working on. More questions?
I know you've been trying to identify people who are actually implementing it to give us real-life examples since they have all gone away. But I don't know if you can actually tell us something about your turnaround times. I know this technology can give you a very nice glossy picture. But on ground, turnaround, especially responsiveness, after you have raised a request, availability of the technical personnel to reach on site. What are some of the real-life challenges that you've seen on ground?
Okay, for technical support requests, our turnaround time is 1 day. So if you send us an email with a request, we will respond within a day. For implementation support, where it is required, of course, I can't give a flat time. It's dependent on how far you are from our base, of course. So currently we have support being offered from Nairobi, we have support being offered from Kampala, we have support being offered from Addis Ababa, we have support being offered from Dar es Salaam and Arusha. So those are like the 5 places where support can come from. So if you're 5 hours away, it will take us 5 hours to get there. If you're 8 hours away, then you probably need to travel and sleep and then support you the next day. So, but generally speaking, we do acknowledge all support requests within a day, and then if we need, actually I forgot one other model is that seems to pick up of late is where a customer, especially if you have decent internet, you can do it remotely, and that will be same day, like same as an email. So we now have support applications that we're using to help us perform remote support, where we walk you through what needs to be done and we can work together. So that's typically even faster than traveling. Yeah. I think there's a hand here.
Mine is just a comment and experience. The question he asked about is GIS only for young people? I think he got the answer from the Esri president, Jack Dandremont. Yeah, he's Nordman is the one who is supporting this software program, and he gave to Rwanda a license for 10 years for grants. And but it's good to start at an early age. And the experience for Rwanda, we have got a program called K-12 program for GIS. We started with training teachers from schools from different districts, which you can call it like counties here. But and in each district, teachers from a neighboring school can teach other teachers after they getting a training. So it's a program which was in collaboration between the University of Rwanda and Esri Rwanda. Yeah, and it was also facilitated by what we are talking about, the one laptop per child, which is a program in Rwanda. So they are giving a laptop for children from primary school, but that program, the K-12, was for secondary school.
I'm not sure how to respond. I believe it was a comment and a challenge. A challenge to us to see how we can better support schools in terms of the literacy, especially map literacy, like Pauline had said. It's interesting that Rwanda has a one laptop per child policy, and like us, we have a one laptop per standard one child policy. So I hope you notice that difference, Kenyans in the room. So please let us step up. It is per child, not per class, one child. It's a big difference. All right. I will allow Pauline to make the announcements on what we are doing next. We are here, we are available in case you have any questions specific. We're here. We also have, of course, the showcase area. We have a booth, you can ask us questions. We are here the whole of tomorrow and on Friday, again, available for any questions that you might have.